So this is it.
Ryan, please. It's not what you think.
The air in the living room felt thick, like a fog of unspoken accusations. As I sank into the couch, my fingers trembling around a chipped coffee mug, the memory of last night burned in my chest. Me, laughing too loudly, perched on Jake's lap at the bar, the music pulsing, my husband's eyes narrowing across the crowded room. It's not cheating. I'd snap when Ryan pulled me aside, his voice low and jagged. You're being controlling. His silence had been worse than any shout, a cold blade slicing to the heat of my defiance. Now, in the gray morning light, the house was too quiet, the kind of quiet that hums with secrets waiting to crack open. I sipped the coffee, bitter and cold, my gaze drifting to the framed photo on the mantel. Ryan and me, 3 years ago, laughing on a windswept beach. My stomach twisted. Had I gone too far? Jake was just a friend, a co-worker who made me laugh when Ryan's late nights at the office left me staring at empty walls. But the way Jake's hand had lingered on my waist, the way I hadn't pulled away, those moments gnawed at me now, like termites in the foundation of our marriage. The front door clicked open, and my heart lurched. Ryan stepped inside, his coat dusted with early snow, his face unreadable. "You're up early," he said, his voice flat, as he hung his keys on the hook. The clink of metal echoed in the stillness. "Couldn't sleep," I replied, my throat tight. I wanted to ask where he'd been all night. His text at 2 a.m. had only said, "Need space. Be home tomorrow." But the word stuck. Trapped behind the guilt I refused to name. Instead, I forced a smile. "Coffee's still warm if you want some." He didn't answer, just crossed the kitchen, his boots leaving faint wet prints on the hardwood. I watched him pour a cup, his movements deliberate, like he was measuring each second to avoid looking at me. The silence stretched, taut as a wire, and I felt the first prick of dread. Something was wrong, more wrong than last night's fight. "Ryan," I started, setting my mug down with a clatter. "About last night, I didn't mean to." "Don't." His voice cut through mine, sharp and low. He turned, his eyes locking onto me, dark and unyielding. "Don't say it was nothing, Lauren. I saw you. I saw him." My pulse quickened, a drumbeat in my ears. "It was a joke, okay? Jake's just sees fun." It wasn't like that. Even as I spoke, doubt crept in, cold and insidious. Had it been just a joke? The memory of Jake's breath against my ear, his teasing whisper, "You're trouble, aren't you?" felt less innocent in the sober light of day. Ryan's jaw tightened, and he set his cup down with a force that made the table shudder. "Fun," he repeated, the word dripping with disdain. "You think I'm an idiot? You think I didn't notice how you've been pulling away? Late nights at the office, texting someone when you think I'm not looking." My mouth went dry. He was right about the distance, but not the way he thought. I'd been burying myself in work, trying to ignore the growing chasm between us. His endless meetings, my lonely evenings. Jake had just been there, a distraction, a spark in the dark. But I couldn't say that, not when Ryan's eyes burned with something I'd never seen before. Not just anger, but fear. "I'm not cheating," I said, my voice cracking. "I would never." "Then why?" he interrupted, stepping closer. "Did I find this?" He pulled his phone from his pocket and held it out, the screen glow of a photo that stopped my heart. It was me, at the bar last week, leaning into Jake, his arm around my shoulders, my hand on his chest. The angle was intimate, damning, like a snapshot of a moment I didn't remember crossing. "Where did you get that?" My voice was a whisper, my mind racing. I hadn't seen anyone taking pictures. Had Ryan been watching me even then? "Does it matter?" he snapped. "You told me you were working late that night. Said you were swamped with deadlines. But you were with him." The room spun, the walls closing in. I wanted to scream that it wasn't what it looked like, that Jake and I had just been celebrating a project win, that the drinks had blurred the lines but never crossed them. But the words felt hollow, even to me. I'd lied about that night, not because I'd done anything wrong, but because I knew Ryan would overreact. And now, that lie was a noose around my neck. "Ryan, listen," I pleaded, standing, my hands outstretched. "I messed up, okay? I shouldn't have lied. But nothing happened. I swear. He laughed, a bitter sound that made my skin prickle. You swear? Like that means anything now. He turned away, running a hand through his hair, and for a moment, I saw the man I'd married, vulnerable, hurt, struggling to hold on to something slipping away. Then he faced me again, and his expression was stone. I followed you last night, Lauren. After you sat on his lap, I saw you leave the bar with him. My blood ran cold. You followed me? The betrayal stung, sharp and unexpected. You didn't trust me, so you stalked me? Don't turn this on me, he growled. I saw you get into his car. I saw you laughing, touching his arm. You didn't come home for hours. The truth hit me like a slap. I had gone to Jake's place, not for anything sordid, but to keep talking, to chase the thrill of being seen, heard, wanted. We'd sat on his couch, shared another drink, and I'd left before anything could happen. But the hours had slipped away, and I hadn't thought about how it looked. I hadn't thought about Ryan at all. I didn't sleep with him, I said, my voice breaking. I swear, Ryan, we just talked. He stared at me, his eyes searching mine, and for a moment I thought he might believe me. Then his phone buzzed, and he glanced at the screen. His face changed, hardened like a door slamming shut. You're lying, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Jake just texted me. He said he's sorry. Said it meant nothing, but he thought I should know. The world tilted. What? I choked out, my legs buckling. I sank back onto the couch, my mind reeling. Jake had texted Ryan? Why? To confess something that never happened? Or had I misread everything? The drinks, the laughter, the way Jake's hand had brushed mine. Had I been blind to my own actions? To the line I thought I hadn't crossed? Ryan, my voice failed as tears burned my eyes. I didn't know what to say, didn't know how to untangle the mess of guilt, fear, and confusion choking me. Had I betrayed him, even if I had meant to? Had I let myself drift too far, chasing a feeling I couldn't name? He stepped back, his expression a mix of pain and resolve. I'm done, Lauren. I can't do this anymore. He grabbed his coat and headed for the door, pausing only to look back, his voice soft but final. You broke us. The door slammed and the silence swallowed me. I stared at the photo on the mantel, our smiling faces mocking me. My phone buzzed on the table, Jake's name lighting up the screen. I didn't answer. I couldn't, because in that moment, I realized the truth. Whether I'd crossed a line or not, I'd shattered Ryan's trust. And maybe, just maybe, I'd been betraying myself all along.